There's not even one thing that I could possibly pick to tell people about him because he was just the most spectacular person in the entire world. And I miss him so much because he was my best friend. We literally did everything together. I quit my job when he got sick, and we did everything together.
Welcome back for another episode of The Perks in Paving. As always, I'm joined by Mark. And this week we have a very special guest, one of my childhood friends and the founder of Noah's Legacy Foundation. Please welcome Sara Latronica.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're so glad that you could join us.
Yes, me too.
We were hoping to have you on last week, but
last week was crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have been crazy for you too. We were super glad that we were able to come to the second annual December to Remember Christmas event for Noah's Legacy Foundation. So that was so special. It was just amazing. Like, you did such an incredible job.
Thank you. Well, it wasn't all me. I have so many hands on deck, but really excited about how the turnout was. There was so many lovely people there, and it was just really, honestly, a magical night.
I agree. Before we get too much into that, for viewers that haven't heard about Noah's Legacy Foundation, can you give them a little bit of background about what the foundation is about and what's inspired you to be so passionate about this foundation?
Yeah. So my firstborn son, Noah, was diagnosed with a rare brain cancer when he was 6 months old. So that was back in 2017. And it was, nothing that I would have ever expected as a new time parent. You think that you get pregnant, you get married, you get pregnant, you have a baby, and you have all of these, wonderful lifetime events ahead of you, going to school and graduating and getting married. And that was all cut very short for us when Noah passed away last year in 2022, August. After a 5.5-year battle with brain cancer. So, during those 5.5 years, it was the most trying time in our lives. And my husband and I felt like there was a lack of support and networking between cancer families in Pittsburgh. And after he passed away, I really just wanted to continue talking about him. And continue his legacy in a way that helped other families that were affected by childhood cancer. So he passed away on August 9th, and I think that I founded Noah's Legacy Foundation 3 weeks later.
That's incredible.
So in the very heat of my grief, I just decided that I could either sit in my grief and become super depressed and not want to get out of bed, and I had another child at that point, or I can take my pain and turn it into something good. So that's the route I decided to go.
Yeah, and it's been super inspiring. I can't imagine going through something like that, and you've done it with such grace, and
thank you.
It's been incredible to watch this foundation just boom over the last
flourish.
year. So,
it's been really cool to see how well it's been doing, and we couldn't do that without all of the passion from our community. We just have so many amazing people that are so invested, and even if they didn't meet Noah, they loved Noah. From the start, I shared Noah's story through a blog on Facebook, and it now has 18,000 followers of people all over, not even just the United States, of people that truly just love him because he had this infectious smile and energy that just changed my life, and I think it changed a lot of lives too.
He was one of the first people I knew in Pittsburgh before I'd ever come up here, having her talk about the races she had run and the events she'd participated in to bring awareness and raise money. And you were speaking with us and Brian at the Christmas party, and you had mentioned that very shortly after he had passed, there was an event that your friend had a dream of. And talk a little bit about that. Share that story with us. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah. So our co-founder, Casey Maschantonio, her daughter, Emmy, also has brain cancer. And Emmy is thriving now, and she is almost 2 years, no evidence of disease. thriving and also still very much affected by all of the toxicity of cancer treatment. But Casey and I came together to found Noah's Legacy Foundation, and she had texted me one morning a few weeks after Noah passed and after we started the foundation, and she said, I had this really crazy dream where we took hundreds of cancer families and childhood cancer supporters down to the Clemente Bridge, and we took flashlights and glow sticks and we lit the city gold because September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And, she was just sharing a dream that she had. And I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. And she was like, yeah, that was just a dream. I'm not planning this event. And I'm like, oh no, we're going to do it. So in 2 short weeks, we decided to plan this event where we ended up on the Andy Warhol Bridge because the Clemente Bridge was closed. But we had hundreds of families come with glow sticks and flashlights, and we successfully were able to get about 5 buildings to go gold. As most of Pittsburgh knows, during October, our skyline is very much pink, which is fantastic. But our goal is to get it to go gold every September. To raise awareness. And we had that event last year. So we had our 2nd annual Light the Night Gold this year, and it was epic. We had hundreds of supporters and food trucks and vendors and all kinds of stuff, and a drone show, which was pretty cool.
I saw some of the videos that people posted, and it was pretty amazing.
It was really cool. And the most important thing about all of that was that was able to be seen from 9B. So 9B is our childhood cancer floor at Children's Hospital up in Lawrenceville. And those kids, we have photos from their families and from the nurses that those kids are looking out the window and seeing in our night sky a giant gold ribbon. And it's the drone show said, "Be bold, go gold," and it had all kinds of really wonderful, inspirational things. And those kids were amazed, and we were able to gift all of those kids bags, swag bags in the hospital and at the event with all kinds of awesome stuff.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so special. So what are your plans for the foundation, say, like, in the next 5 years? Like, what are your goals and plans for what it's going to look like?
Yeah, I mean, the goal in general is to continue to grow. Right now, so when we first started, my main goal was to fund research. 50% of government funding, or 50% of all funding that goes to childhood cancer, is raised by private foundations and corporations that have, a drive to provide funding for pediatric cancer. Only 4% of government funding for all cancers goes to childhood cancer, which is not enough. And because, childhood cancer is so rare and it's not making these big companies money, we're getting the short end of the stick when it comes to research. So, Noah's survival rate would have been much higher had there been more research for ependymoma specifically. So right now we work a lot with the Pediatric Neuro-Oncology Consortium, which is one of the largest consortiums that does research for children's cancer. So we, in general, our mission is kind of like a trifold. So we provide funding for research, provide emotional support for families, and we raise awareness. And when I initially wanted this to start out, I was like, we're going to cure brain cancer.
Yeah.
Like, our little nonprofit right now is not going to cure brain cancer.
But you're making a difference.
We're making a difference.
And
we've successfully donated around $40,000 to research,
awesome.
which is amazing.
It's that's only in a short period of time.
Right.
So I mean,
but I think as we've unfolded and we've had our Christmas party and our Light the Night event, it's become so much more about the support of families. Like, I can't tell you how many messages and emails I get of people just saying, like, your organization truly is changing how cancer is affecting our family and the positivity. And And I know so many cancer families that have met through our
like a networking
yeah,
community
and
of
now
people.
they're best friends, and their kids are best friends, and kids with cancer really don't have that many other friends with cancer because it is rare. But now they have this, this community and this family. I'm actually going to a cancer mom Christmas party on Wednesday because we all know each other now, and it's
Have you guys all met in person yet? Okay.
Yeah, we had it
awesome.
last year as well.
That's awesome.
A friend of two friends of mine that both have children with cancer, they put it on, and it's such an isolating feeling as a parent to watch your child go through everything that is involved with cancer, and especially their siblings as well. Just such a great family that has come out of it, and I think that long term, that support aspect is kind of the direction that we're going in addition to continue to do funding.
Right. And that kind of brings us back to the Christmas event that we went to this past weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, you absolutely, that event was perfect. And no matter what people were going through, whether it was, they have a child with cancer or they were going through something else, like that was a moment for everyone to just be in the moment, and there were so many things to be happy about. The kids were dancing with Elsa and singing with Elsa, and Santa was there, and like there was just so much to be happy for in that moment. And maybe it was only for a moment, but that event served its purpose and obviously created awareness, which is the goal. But
I agree. It was joyful, magical.
It was a joyful,
night.
Magical night, and it was just very special.
Pretty cool.
So.
And we couldn't have done it without all of our amazing sponsors and donors. Like I said, people fall in love with Noah, and they also fall in love with all of the children that I post about on social media and bring awareness to their stories. And it's heart-wrenching to see what these kids are going through, but it's also so inspiring to see how resilient they are in the face of the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I always tell Mark. I only had the opportunity to meet Noah twice, but every single time you posted a video of him, he was always smiling, and always happy. And he had so much pain and was so sick. And I think he is a true inspiration. And I'm glad that I got to meet him the 2 times that I did, because I
was lucky enough to meet him one time, and
yeah.
You've talked so much about what impact you've already made so far, and for those of the tens of thousands of people that you've brought awareness to and have helped support, what's something that you would want them to know about Noah or carry forward for those who didn't get to meet him or know really anything about him besides his diagnosis?
Noah. Something about Noah from the day he was born was just different than any, obviously he was my first child, so he was so special to me, but he just exuded like this angelic presence. He was happy a lot of the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, we had hard times, but he truly, he took life and made it this. He was so special. Sorry. Yeah. He was just amazing. There's not even one thing that I could possibly pick to tell people about him because he was just the most spectacular person in the entire world. And I miss him so much because he was my best friend. We literally did everything together. I quit my job when he got sick, and we did everything together, and he was perfect.
Yeah.
And he changed my life, and he changed who I am. I think Paige would say I'm probably a very different person than I was in high school.
No,
but that was thanks to Noah. He changed me, and I think that he changed a lot of people.
I will say, you touched on it before, but people who never even met Noah have, I'm sure people all over the country, I feel like, would comment on your post.
They love him. They
loved him, and he touched everybody's heart, and he brought our community together. Yeah. it was special to me
Yeah.
also to see people that we went to high school with that we might have never even spoke with, but
Right.
they were there to support when, you know, the community and Noah needed that support. So
Yeah.
I loved seeing that, but I agree. He was just a special little boy, but
So, you know, we've talked about the foundation, but how can the normal average person help out? What can they do? What can we do
Yeah.
to spread the awareness and keep this ball rolling?
Yeah, so I mean, there's so many pages out there that are sharing really great information about childhood cancer. So I just encourage people to don't scroll past it. It's, you know, I think that a lot of times looking at the photos of a child going through cancer or reading a really long post about how hard that child's day was because of treatment, is not happy. And I think a lot of people want to, unless it personally touches them, I think people kind of want to scroll past it or not think about it because it's so scary. And until I was a cancer mom, it wasn't something that was on my radar. And I think that I just encourage people to take the time to spread the awareness, create your own fundraisers. So for instance, I actually got an email this morning from the Pine Richland Girls Basketball Association, and they heard about our organization and they want to do a childhood cancer awareness night. So they want to raise money at that event, just at one of their basketball games. They want us to come and pass out brochures to increase awareness in the community. And I think that's the biggest thing. Without awareness, we can't have funding because, you know, unless everybody knows that, you know, less than 4% of government funding goes to cancer, or that 1 in 285 people by the time they're 20 years old will be diagnosed with cancer. Those are things that's proven. It's a fact. Those are statistics that you don't know about, and they're statistics that you should know about, and it should make you care and make you want to increase funds and awareness. So. For our organization specifically, volunteering is super helpful. We have a different committee for each one of our events, and our committees have been so wonderful. Everybody brings such a different spin to their creativity with planning our committees, volunteering at the events, and just, you know, coming. You know, we can't raise money and we can't continue to do what we do without, you know, people coming to our events. So,
right.
Yeah.
So other than the Light the Night Gold and the December to Remember, what other events do you guys host as of now throughout the year?
Yeah. So currently we're doing 4 annual events. Our next event is in February, on February 17th. It's a bowling tournament.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did the bowling tournament last year and it was a huge hit. We sold out in like a couple days. So we're trying to revamp how the tournament works so that we can incorporate more teams.
Okay.
But it was super fun, which is where we have like our basket raffles and stuff like that. And then our golf outing was also a huge hit. And we have that scheduled for May 11th. So that's Mother's Day weekend.
Where?
So last year that worked out really well for us because a lot of our baskets were for women. And I'm like, all right, dads, like put your basket or get your tickets for baskets for Mother's Day tomorrow.
Right.
But yeah, it was really cool. The huge turnout, sold out for that event as well. So those are the 2 events that are really more about fundraising, I would say. And then later in the year when we do our September Light the Night Gold and our December parties, those are the ones that, you know, it's all about the families. And we did successfully raise a little over $15,000 on Saturday.
That's awesome.
Between our sponsors and donors and everything made at the event. So that was double what we did last year. And what was really cool is that everything at the event was free for families. So they bought a ticket to the event and they got to do cookie decorating from Oakmont Bakery, face painting from Deer Lakes Nursery School, the tinsel, the hair tinsel.
More knots.
Yes, more knots. Yeah, they were amazing. All the crafts and every balloon artists. It was just so cool.
Yeah.
And I think people like I said, that's more about, making people happy.
Yeah. Well, I am so proud of you.
Thank
and
you.
And Nick. I mean, you guys are doing
Yeah.
incredible things, and I'm so excited to see where this foundation goes in the next 5, 10, 20 years. And I think big things are coming. So
I hope so.
We're happy to jump on board to support in any way we can. And
Huge thank you to the Pavement Group
Yeah.
for your gold sponsorship for the event. We couldn't have done it without you guys.
We were talking last night, and I was saying, there's a lot of things that you don't get consensus on in this world. We can't get people to agree that the sky is blue, but this is one of those things that I think everyone can come around and give appreciation for. So we'll drop a link in the comment section below, but we encourage everyone to check this out. So
Thank you
donate
guys
if you
so
can.
much.
It's a great cause, and
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It means so much.
for sure. So before we go,
On a lighter note.
on a lighter note, we figured we would bring it back to the days of Sara and I in our childhood. And I realized last night that Mark doesn't know some of these stories. So sorry, Mom, if you're upset that we're sharing, but they're just too good not to share. But the first story with the eye drops. And you don't remember this at
swimming
all.
myth.
I
Mishap.
don't remember this story.
Yeah. So we're probably we were playing softball. So
8th grade? Was it
Yeah.
before we went? It was definitely before high school.
yeah, it was probably
Yeah.
7th or 8th
Yeah.
grade. But we go to our friend Haley Moretti's house, and we're like swimming all night. And Sarah decides to sleep over at my house. And our eyes are like bloodshot. So we've been swimming in the pool without
goggles,
Yeah.
obviously.
So yeah, our eyes are red. Mom's like, let me help. So she's searching for some eye drops, finds some eye drops, and puts them in our eyes. And we're playing cards that night. Do you remember?
Yes, now I do.
We're sitting in my bedroom at the house that I had in Russellton. And so we're playing cards. It's real late, and I'm like, Sara, I can't see the cards. Like they're all like fuzzy, like all the numbers, and everything's blurry. She's like, that's
Me
funny.
too.
Me too. So I don't remember if we told my mom that. Did we tell her that night, or did we tell her in the morning?
No, I think we told her that night. And then she looked at her eyes and she's like,
Oh, so our pupils are like maxed out dilation.
Ginormous.
Yeah. And she's like, oh no, what did I give them? So she like looks back, and she accidentally gave us
dilated our eyes.
remember they were cat eye
Oh
drops.
my God, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
It was just a slip
Oh
up.
my
I mean,
God,
my
so
mom.
good. She's like, don't tell your parents.
So Sara was supposed to go home like later on that day, and then her dad called that morning and was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna come pick up Sara earlier. And my mom's like, oh, she can stay. And she like took us and brought us to the eye doctor, and they were like, they're fine. They just had to like wait for it to wear off, I guess. But oh my God, it was hysterical. My mom felt so bad. She's like, I swear I'm not a bad mom. We're like, no. Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
I do know
That they
I
do.
remember.
Oh, it was
And now that I'm a parent, I know that very
I'm
much
sure she was
firsthand.
exhausted.
We're all just winging it.
Yeah, but
Turns out.
it was hysterical. But
Yeah.
you can tell the other one. 'Cause
Okay, so the other one that's stuck in my head.
Yeah.
So we played soccer together as well. But,
We pretty much played every sport
under
together.
the sun.
Yeah. Softball, soccer, track.
yeah.
You name it, we were playing it.
And our coach, Mr. Parks, he always liked to make things really fun. So it was a very muddy night on the soccer field, and he was having us do push-ups. And he was just like, push up all the way down to the mud. And like, we end up just having the whole team just having like this huge mud party. And Paige's mom was picking us up from practice.
And if I recall correctly, she had just gotten the Explorer.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
with
Brand new car.
Yeah.
Brand new car. Yeah. And she showed up, and we're all like, oh, it's so muddy. And she's like, oh my God.
I'm gonna kill you guys. No.
Yeah. She made us strip down in the bathroom and wear garbage bags home.
She did.
It was hilarious.
New
It
car.
was so good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we realized how muddy we were gonna get.
I think we knew what we were doing.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. I mean, we were
Or
covered.
you
we
knew-
were covered in mud
you
from
probably were
head
like,
to toe.
It's fine,
Yeah.
Paige,
I was
it's
like,
fine.
yeah, no, I was always the devil on your shoulder.
It's fine.
Yeah. She'll be fine.
Yeah, but oh my God.
Sorry, Mrs. Brado.
Yeah. But yeah, those are definitely the two.
Some good memories.
Oh, yeah.
Among so many more.
Yeah, many more, but those are the funniest of
Yes.
them. But
And I'm so glad you're back in Pittsburgh.
I know we need to get together
I know.
more.
I agree.
We need to make a
Yeah.
dinner date plan.
Yes,
So
I like that.
good stuff.
Sounds
Well,
good.
you want to wrap it up?
Yeah. Thanks again for joining us. Again, we'll drop a link to the comment section and below. Please give a look and donate. Do what you can. Raise awareness. Share. And we just want to, again, thank you very much, Sarah, for coming in
Thank
and
you guys.
so
sharing your
much.
message and
Thank you.
your mission.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. So proud of you.
Thank you.